Hello, this is Top Secret and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over how to make a scenario. So first we'll look at the in-game things and the file where you find your scenario and how you can edit that, what some of the stuff does. Alright, so to get into Worldbuilder, make sure when you set up your game that you have locked modified assets off, because that will stop you from entering Worldbuilder. Then you can just hit Enter Worldbuilder in the menu, or you can press Control W. Now, there's various menus, so let's go over what they all do. This is the Save button up here in the corner. It'll allow you to save, and it will save under My Games. Beyond the Sword saves Worldbuilder. And here you can see I have some Lord of the Rings ones I've done before. And Load does the same thing. It will load from there. Alright, let's talk about what all these do. Alright, change all plots is pretty self-explanatory. It will change every space on the map to mountain, hill, grass, or ocean. Ocean is usually the most useful I've found, because who wants to place out a bunch of water later? But if you have a lot of grass or something, you could do it the other way. We decided not to do that. Alright, this is erase mode. It will kill things. And it will kill pretty much everything except the terrain beneath. It will even kill rivers. Alright, so that's erase mode. This is change all plots. This top right one exits the world builder. This button right here will regenerate the map using the current map script. So if you click it, and be careful not to click it when you're working on your map, that's why you should save frequently, then boom, we have a new map. Now you'll notice sometimes that these weird looking features happen. This is because the game had a hill here, and now that there's no longer a hill there, it looks weird. But if you save and reload, it'll be fine. It won't look strange anymore, so it's fine. Same thing with these horses and other stuff. It looks really weird, so does this, but if you save and reload, everything will be fine. Alright, edit unit mode. The most complicated ones are these two, so we'll do this. Edit unit mode lets you edit a unit, so we could rename this to Hero, and you can even change how much experience he'll get. This tells how many levels he's at, so does he really get experience? Upgrades if he has experience. Promotions tells you what promotions you want on the unit. You can even give it normally illegal promotions. You can even change how the AI works at the current moment for that unit. Edit city mode. Let's add a city. Alright, so we'll come back to edit city mode. Let's talk about player mode. In player mode, you can place out units. You choose by just scrolling through the players here. You can tell it to choose, for example, Montezuma. He'll have a warrior here. Alright. Buildings allows you to build cities and buildings in a city. You can build a city here. So here will be Washington, and here will be New York. And then you can add buildings to them. You can even add multiple copies of a wonder. Like, you can kind of break the rules. If you break the rules too much, sometimes it will crash the game, but that's rare. Try to add only legal stuff. But if you want to try it and see if it works, save before you do it and then try it. Alright, technologies allows you to add technologies for each player. So there's Hammurabi or Lincoln. For example, we can add the priesthood tech. Let's add the mysticism tech. Now, if you go to the tech screen, mysticism is a tech I have. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You can also add all the text for one era, but it will not add the text before that era. If you choose like Renaissance, it won't add medieval, classical, or ancient. You have to click them one at a time. Alright, so that's how player mode works. You can add units, buildings. There's all the buildings and wonders here, and text. Alright. Edit city mode. You click here on a city. You can change the name. You can change how much population it has, if it has a given religion or a corporation. You can change which specific buildings it has. If you right click, let's go back to this. If you right click on a unit that's already out, you can kill it. If you right click on a city with a specific building, you can kill that building in that city. So we can remove the walls or add the walls. Left click is add the walls, right click is remove the walls. Alright, map mode. This is where you'll build your main map. Let's talk about okay, territory is useless. You can make it say, oh, America owns this territory, but it will disappear. So don't waste your time. If you want to change that and change what territory they own, add culture in the city screen. That's smarter. That will keep the territory. Alright, so ignoring that, I'm sure there's some way to use this, but we're not going to. Alright, terrains lets you add new things. For example, if you want to build an island over here, just start slapping down an island. Put a mountain here, some of this here, got some ice over here. You get the point. You can add features as well. Put a jungle on here, put some cold forest. You can even put fallout. You can also add roads or railroads. Alright, these are bonuses. These let you add resources. Funny enough, you can even add hit musicals as a resource. It kind of looks like wheat. Alright, you can add whales or fish or whatever. Okay, so if you want to get rid of a resource, again, just right click, and if you want to override a resource, just click on it and it'll kill the old resource and put a new one there. Alright, improvements. Here, none of this is too terrible. Now, there's some things you may be wondering how to edit that aren't on here. We'll talk about that in the file. Fishing boats is here. Whaling boats is here. You can build a mine, etc. And notice you can build a mine even on a forest, so you can, again, break the rules, kind of. You can add a city ruins where the city got nuked. So, you get the point. If you can even add the different stages of the cottage, the fort, etc. Any improvements you have, and this works with your mods too. Okay, let's talk about this up here. This is the grid placement. It works on the map. Again, here's the regenerate. But the grid placement lets you place more than one thing at a time. So this will give us a large group of plains. Boom. We want it to be desert. Boom. We can connect this. Now it's connected. And you can change it to 1x1, 3x3, or 5x5. If you do 5x5, it's a little bit laggy. Alright, reveal tile mode is exactly what it sounds like. You can again do 1x1, 3x3, or 5x5. You click a tile, and now that Civ has the fog of war. Well, there's still a fog of war, but it's revealed. If you can't see it, you still can't see it. This will reveal all tiles. This will unreveal all tiles except the current ones you can see, which is really handy. Like if you made a map and you move someone from one location to another, you can move them. You can again do like 5x5 groups. Alright, this is diplomacy mode, is the last one. You can set someone to be a vassal of another player. You can increase how other players feel about them. So if I want if I want to make the AI think I'm pleased with them, humans, it doesn't really work. But it will work if you switch players. So that's true. You could set... These are pre-built attitudes. You can make them hate someone forever, love them, or just give them a small boost. And it will just say previous events have whatever. You can also set them to be at war with each other. And if you want to restore the defaults, press restore defaults. Alright, so that's it. We're going to save our pretty lame scenario since we didn't really change that much, but I showed you how to use the different buttons. We're going to call it, of course, over explained, because that's what we're doing. Now, once you've saved it, press load to make sure it's there. Look, there it is. Now we're going to exit the game. And then I'm going to go up here and press saves. And we're going to press Worldbuilder. Alright, now right click it and I'm going to open it with Notepad++. You can use Notepad as well. Now here is where you get down to the different things you can change in a more advanced fashion. So World Builder is pretty easy. It's pretty intuitive. This will remind you more of XML. So era, you set the era. This refers to eras as defined in Civ 4 era infos, which are in game infos, I think. There's ancient, classical, medieval, Renaissance, industrial, modern, future. This will not change your text or anything else. It just tells the game what era you're starting in. This changes the game speed. So if we want to change it to epic, we type in game speed _ epic. Again, this is set in game speed infos. This is set in Civ 4 calendar infos or basic infos. I don't remember. So there's different types of calendars. You can do months, years, weeks. Let's go look at that. Hold on. So let me show you where most of this stuff is. Go to Beyond the Sword, Assets, XML. I think calendars are under basic infos. Okay, calendar infos. See, for example, you can use bi-yearly, every other year, turns, seasons, months, weeks. So all this stuff is defined somewhere in your XML files, and you can actually mod those things, and then you have to change your scenarios to match those. All right, victories. You can set which victories you want. If you don't want a victory anymore, like let's say I don't want anyone to get a time victory, I just delete it. If I want it back, I can add it back in, right? Victory equals victory time. I'm not sure if you have to type them in exact order, but I don't care. If you just try it out, you'll see. Okay, game turn tells you which turn you're on. You can use this to set the calendar to what you want. However, you can also use start year, which tells it the calendar will advance the same amount no matter what. So you can use start year and set it to yearly, but still leave it on 0. Or, if you know exactly what turn you want, and you want it to be a different turn, like turn 72, then it will start at 4,000, but it will act like 72 turns have passed on the calendar. So that's what that means. Max City Elimination means, as far as I remember, that if enough cities are destroyed, this Civ, if this many cities are destroyed, one more will kill the civilization. So you can use this to create, like, don't lose too many cities or you're going to die scenarios. All right, number of advanced start points and target score. I don't remember what they do. I'll provide a link in the description, though, to the modding wiki on Civ Fanatics that explains what they do. But target score, I think you have to reach a certain score to win. Number of advanced start points, I know it gives you advanced start points, but I don't remember how to enable that. Anyway. All right, begin team. So here's how this works. In Civ 4, there are teams and there are players. For example, you could both be on the same team because you signed an alliance or because you started the game on the same team. So techs are shared between teams. So if the Americans and the Canadians are on the same team, or whoever, the Americans and the English are on the same team, they share the same text. Also, contact is by team. Reveal map is by team. So just because a player has something, it may be for the player or the team. So what you need to know is texts are on teams, contacting is on teams. You can reveal the whole map. If you change this to 1, it will reveal the whole map. So how do you know which players are on which teams? Well, if you scroll down, there are 17. Why? Okay, let's talk about that. It starts at 0 because this is a computer. So the first entry is team 0. That would be the Americans. Remember when we asked mysticism as a tech? You can also add text here. If I wanted to add writing, I would just copy it, paste it, and type in tech writing. Now the Americans have writing. All right, let's scroll down here. All right, this is, you can, if you want to, let's say we want Hammer Rabbi on our team. We can change his team number to 0. We don't want him on our team, so we'll take him off, but that's what that does. Let's explain begin player. There's a few more entries as well, by the way, that you can put in some of these things. Again, those will be in the modding wiki. They'll tell you about that. If you have any questions, let me know in the forum or in the comments. Leader type. So this tells which leader he is. But you could change his name. Let's say we wanted to pretend Lincoln was someone else. You can change his name right here. You can call him, you know, let's say this is Lincoln the Second, because this is from the future. All right, again, these Civ descriptions, see this here? This is not referring to the Civ type, but the name that the Civ will refer to. That's how scenarios like Earth 1000 AD work. They rename the Civs, even though it's the same Civ mechanics. This is America, but you could rename it to, you know, the New Republic. And then you can say, you know, New Republic is the short description. This would be like the Chinese Empire, China. And then Civ adjective is like whatever you want to write. You know, you could write Republican. You could write Repub, whatever. This says, okay, like an American warrior has died or something. If the Americans have declared war on whoever. All right, flag decal. This tells it where to look for the flag. So you can change the flag on the scenario even if it's a different civilization. And you can tell it to use white flag, which we won't talk about right now. Civ type, which civilization? You can change the color. If you want player color to be green, we can just change it to player color green. And now the Americans will be green instead of blue. Those again are defined under player colors. I think those are under MISC. No. Interface. That's it. Player color infos. If you use that, it'll tell you all the different colors you can use there. Again, these things can be found on the modding wiki. It's the best tool for editing this file. You just press Control S when you've changed it to whatever you want. Can you play the Civ? This says American. Can humans play the Civ? The Americans. Yes is 1, no is 0. Minor nation status. Can you do diplomacy with this Civ? If a playable Civ is a minor nation, they won't be able to do diplomacy, as far as I know. Starting gold. How much gold do they start with? This, starting X and starting Y, if they have no units and everything's set up correctly, you can use this to tell the game where to base their spawn point. State religion. This does not add the religion to the city. It just gives them the state religion. Alright, which is their starting era? Again, this doesn't give you technologies. It just tells them which era the Civ is in. You still have to add the text. Alright, random start location. So this will override starting X, starting Y if you set this to true. These civic options tell them which one. If you add a new category, for example, my Middle Earth mod adds a new category, then it will set, it has a option for civics that are military. So I would add civic option military, civic whatever. All right, and handicap. This tells the difficulty that the UN will start out at. All right, same thing. So we define all these players. If a player is empty, this is what it looks like. This means no player, none, 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 and it needs to look like this. Okay, they should be in your file if you didn't fill it up with 18. If you have more than, like if your DLL can support more civs, you have to have that many teams and players set. So you could have, for example, 34 civs, then you need 0 through 33. All right, now we get to a few more things. Plot info. Editing plot info. This is literally, we'll go back to begin map in a minute. Every tile in the game written out. And yes, you can edit this, but it's easier to edit it in game. So usually I edit everything above plot info, because it is a long list of every plot, and then signs, which I don't think I went over those, but the top left button in Worldbuilder gives you signs anyway. All the way back up. So, whoops. Here we go. Let's talk about maps. Grid width. grid height, top latitude, bottom latitude. So this tells you the game what latitudes there are. This is useful for Space Elevator and other wonders. It can only be built at a certain latitude. Alright, grid height and grid width. This tells the game how many tiles. You can't just change this without adding more plots. So it's easier to set the size when you make your map than it is to try to edit this. Because if you change the width, you have to go through and add the X values for every single tile that you added. So you have to write X equals 0, Y equals whatever, X equals 0, Y equals whatever. Again, the easiest way to do this is set up a world size that you want. You can change the name of the world size. You can say, oh, this is a huge world size, and it will affect it like it's a huge world size no matter what the size is here. But it's easier to choose the map size you want and then design the map on that size. It's possible to make custom sizes, but it's a lot of work. All right, can the map wrap? This is a flat map. I'm sorry, it's 0. X equals 0. Wrap Y equals 0. A normal map is X. Wrap X equals 1. You can go around the world. It's round. And a toroidal map is 1 and 1. You can go up and you can go across. All right. So world size, again, like I said, affects the game somewhat. It can affect text speeds and some other things. How many buildings you have to build for certain wonders. Climate is just a name. Does the climate matter? Yes. But only when you generate the map. If you change the climate now, it won't change anything about the map. It will just say the climate's different. All right. Sea level. Again, that won't change your map any. If you change this to sea level high, it won't flood your map automatically. It'll just say the sea level's high, even though you made it medium. So you want to set these things in the regular game, and then you can change the names if you want for whatever reason. This tells how many plots are written. Again, if you change these values, you have to change the number of plots written because you added plots. Again, that's a lot of work. Again, all right. Randomize resources. This will kill all your resources and write them out. If you change it to true. Change it to true, it will kill all your resources and it will make new ones. All right, so let's tell it that the world is now toroidal. So 1-1. And we will go try this with the green, the New Republic. All right, we've saved it. So now we can literally click this. This is not on our mod, by the way. This is just normal Civ 4. So that is basically the things you can edit. There's more you can add in, especially at the top, the game options. We may go over those in a separate video. So see, now he's named the New Republic, Lincoln II. Is it still Lincoln? Yeah, it really is. See, it tells you right here. But it tells you what the Civ really is too. But the things we changed in the file are affecting the game. And now if we load it up, our flag is green. Our colors are green. So you can see that affects it. We also have the text that we added. We have writing, because I added it. Do we have anything up to writing? No. We have exactly what I told it to do. So that's how to make a scenario in general. You edit the map in Worldbuilder. You add the things you want. You save it. And then you can edit it outside. Now, I will add a link in the description that links you to the modding wiki. And it will tell you everything you need to know about the Worldbuilder save files. Well, pretty much everything. If you find something that it doesn't know, come ask me in the forum or in the comments, and I'll try to let you know. All right, I hope that helped. Thanks for watching.